Hi there, and welcome to another First Friday here at the Crystal Stairs ECE Resource Center activity video. Today we have something very exciting to share with you. We read The Color Monster, and it was a book about how children can sometimes have all these emotions and they're all just jumbled up inside. But the most important part is us teaching children how to separate and sort what they're feeling out. So I'm Miss Ebony, and I have my friend with me today.
Hi, I'm Miss Michelle, and we're sorting out feelings together. Adults, children, it's difficult to have all of these feelings inside of us jumbled up, just like the color monster, and he just felt, what did he say in the beginning? Confused. He needed a friend to help do that with them. And what we like to remind you all at home or in class is that children need adults to help them co-regulate. They cannot self-regulate themselves. So we want to encourage the children in your care to lean on each other, to lean on you as the adult, to help them unravel it. And this is what this activity is about. So what we did before this activity, we gathered all these items, and it was fun finding everything, right?
This was an activity within itself. You can have the child go around your area and collect all the different colors of things, put them in a bowl, and then sit with them and start separating those colors and start that conversation about how do these colors make you feel, like me and Michelle are going to do today. So I have a blue because I was feeling a little sad today. I don't like having to say goodbye to my children at drop off, and then sometimes they're crying, and it just really pulls at me as well. So I'm going to work with the color blue today because I was feeling a little sad. But what I loved about the book is that it said, feelings don't last forever. I'm not always going to be sad. It's just a feeling right now in this moment.
Exactly, and it can switch from moment to moment. The color I'm going to focus on today, which just happens to be the color that I'm feeling most connected to, and that's the color yellow, which is joy, excitement, happiness, and that's genuinely how I feel right now, and that's the color I'm choosing to collage. But in a few minutes, something may happen, and the world may not go my way, and all of a sudden, now I gotta do a red, and I gotta figure out what to do with my anger. And so we just showed you two examples of some colors here, which we're gonna start collaging together here, but keep this book as a reference, because these are things that you can post around your areas, and they can stay with you all year long. So we've got glue sticks, regular glue with a little brush that's easy for children to use. You can pour this in a cup. They can get messy with it. You can protect your areas. Put something down if you have a countertop you want to protect, because this is something that is going to get messy. And the messier it is, the more that they learn. Okay?
Right,
so we're going to dive in. So we're going to just be using some glue.
And and as you're doing this activity with a child, this is the perfect time to really, zoom in on that language development, talking about their feelings. What does their body feel like when they are maybe sad? What are some of those behaviors and patterns we see when a child comes in and you can tell that, something may be off today. Let's talk about these colors. Let's talk about how we're feeling.
So it sounds like identifying as the adult, identifying by watching carefully how children behave. It'll give you a clue into how they're actually feeling. And then you gotta help them develop the words, because they don't always have the words. Typical words are sad, happy, mad. But they could have been feeling scared. They could have been feeling frustrated. They looked angry, but really feeling frustrated, which is a different feeling.
Yes.
And you're giving them that vocabulary, which is what is working out both hemispheres of the brain. So we want you to know that. And Miss Ebony brought a great resource for us over here to learn more about the left and right hemisphere of the brain, and how does this activity connect to both parts.
So in child development, we know, in development with even adults, our brain has two different sides. We have the left side, which is logic and reasoning,
Right.
and then we have the right side, which is that creativity and your artistic expression. And this activity you can use to bring in both sides of the child's brain. We're talking about how we're feeling. We're giving them new vocabulary, like I feel frustrated, or I feel hot when I'm upset. And then as we're doing our activity and we're talking about it, we're breathing, and as we're putting this glue down, and the creativity of that activity, and now we're bringing the child in centered and we're emotionally regulating how they feel.
Now I have a question, Miss Ebony, because children typically mirror the feelings of adults.
Yes.
So is it important that when an adult is addressing a child, is it important that they are first regulated before expecting a child to be?
Yes, it is so important to remember to take a scan of yourself. How am I feeling right now? How's my breathing? How's my posture? Because that builds trust in the child to feel comfortable enough, because they feed off of us. They need us to be emotionally regulated to feel like they are in a safe space where they can now open up and share how they're feeling.
So we need to be that role model for them first. And if you're not comfortable as the adult navigating and facilitating this activity, we urge you to be first comfortable with it yourself, or to discover this alongside the children. Children can create a lot of healing factors from us too. It's not their responsibility to heal us, but it is good to be transparent with, sometimes I have some of these blue feelings too. And this is what I do with them.
And you know what? Doing this activity made me feel that yellow and joy that in your face in the beginning. So now I feel so much joy.
See, so we may need to get her yellow paper so she could do joy, just like how I experienced joy doing this. And there may be a moment in the day where, my feeling turns to the color blue and I'm feeling sad. And I know I don't have to deal with that alone. I can have a trusted person in my life to help me navigate those situations. And that's exactly more you can learn of in the Whole Brain Child resource book that we brought. So you can dive deeper into the brain development of how we perceive emotions and how our emotions can actually dictate other people's. And the most sensitive to our emotions as adults are children.
That is so true. And look, after your activity, you can have the children, and don't worry if their language isn't quite developed yet, we can point to how we feel. You feeling blue? You feeling joy? So take this activity, utilize it in your space, and let us know. Give us some feedback on all of the wonderful conversations and the outcomes that you experience with working with the children in your care. Thank you so much for tuning in on another First Friday activity video, and we'll see you next time.
On the next First Friday. Bye-bye.